truck shot for day 2 of the Australian Men's Roller Derby Nationals. I'm Scarborough, I'm here with, and we're getting ready here for the first of our semis. This is the Tasmanian West Street Brawlers up against Brisbane's own Scartel in the red. We'll give you a quick rundown of who's playing in today's games.
Up on the black and green for the West Street Brawlers today. Number 11 is Sausage Rolls. Number 17 is Huge Stackman. 17 01, the Captain Smart. 44 is Johnny Burrow. 42 is Philip. A440 Mingman. M0 is Grace Monkey. M3 Nico. And N8 Inspector Gadget.
Alright, and for the home boys, the Scartel, who are currently ranked number 1 in this tournament, we have 156 centimetres whippersnapper, we have 173 copter, we have 323 black-toothed grinner, we have number 35 Hank Fister, we have 404 HP Shopcraft, we have number 46 Elton Michaud, number 5 Arsenal, 71 RPG, and 79 Charlie, and then the captain, FA3C Furs. Your bunch coach today is Vixen, and your lineup manager is Natasha Stock Destroyer. As the guys all got their safety checks finished up, we already have we have 4 of the Scartel boys lining up, and a couple of the Best Street Brawlers taking their positions as well.
So let's go now. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here in the Chook Shot, and it's already sweaty, but it's starting to fill up with roller derby fans. Just a quick note handed to you by Craig, the bench manager for the Brawlers. Just wanted to do a shout out to General, Sport number 181 for the Brawlers. He's a bit sick this weekend and couldn't make it up for the Nationals. So, thanks to the work, maybe watching at home, and rooting for the Brawlers.
Alright, so we have Whippersnapper, number 156, leading up against Sausage Rolls. I think this will be a battle of how successful the jammers are today. I know that that's going to be their main focus. The Scartel is going to be to shut down Sausage Rolls and 35. I'm pretty sure the Best Street Brawlers are going to have the same theory as well.
Yeah, I was talking to those guys before, and they're pretty much trying to avoid Whippersnapper getting in a one-on-one situation, so they're going to be trying to maintain their walls in front of Whipper.
Oh, look at Sausage Rolls trying to get lower. Let's see how much spring and load he can get from that step as well. All right, Sausage Rolls, big stumble there. He goes straight into Elton Michelle, sending him to the ground. Thorsome yielding Whippersnapper back. Grease Monkey trying to get through, but Whippersnapper is twirling. Sausage Rolls is coming for his points. That's a big hit from Shirley on Sausage. The Fuzz and Elton Michelle trying to hold him down. He's gotten his 5 points. It's fierce. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and it's all on.
Sausage will be pleased that he's got a jammer point on Whippersnapper first up as well.
Whoever wins this game gets to go straight to the grand final. So it's important for both of them.
And that was a year ago now, but Brawlers did beat Scartel last time they played.
Yes, they Scartel headed down to the nice and cool Tasmania with 6 skaters. As you can see today, they have a fair bit more than that.
I know, it's definitely not going to be an easy game on either account.
All right, RPG, the gentleman in the sport, just giving a good handshake there to Dirty 5.
And straight up.
Oh,
again.
Look at this. Copter 173. He got the first major of the tournament yesterday morning. He's gotten the first major today. We like to call it the sexy major. Not sure what it's for, but that's what it is.
I think I saw a cutting indication there, Scare.
All right, RPG gets out. But he is not lead. Dirty 5's gotten lead. As Copters return to the track, Dirty 5 calls it just in time. Keeps that one on a 0-0. I think this is going to be fast and fierce.
Fast and fierce and furious, yeah.
I know both these teams are going to be incredibly happy to actually be playing at 8 a.m. You'd never say that about an early game, but today is predicted to hit 43 degrees. And that's outside this chook shed. That's not in it. The games in the afternoon are going to be hot and sweltering as the Fuzz lines up on the Extreme Skates jammer line. He's lining up against Sausage Rolls. Fuzz barging his way through. He's just got a couple to go. Oh, it is called. Sausage Rolls gets a cut. Copter goes back. FE3C is the first lead jammer for the Scartel as Grease Monkey heads to the Spank Alley penalty box. All right, can they address the fuzz situation?
There's a pile up of skaters in the front.
He's gotten himself a forearms. So it's a jammer switcheroo. This does mean it's going to be a 2-minute jam. It kind of takes the pressure off in the 2-minute jam because all you got to do is get the points. You don't have to think about strategy or game.
That's right. You don't have to think about when it's calling off.
Yeah, the Scartel's going to try to pick up the speed, but look at that. It's, a bit of misbalance. All right, we've got the score in front of us. The Scartel yet to score, but I think Fuzz might have had a few points before he got sent to the bin, so we'll see that one at the end.
There's a jump across the apex for Sausage to take some points.
All right, Sausage has gotten himself quite a few points this one already. All right, the Fuzz is back on the track as Elton Michelle just tries to get a quick hit there. The Scartel really have to get themselves together and get into a wall to help their jammer as well as stop Sausage. As Sausage comes back, Tooth Grinner and Copter unable to stop him. Oh, so Sausage went to call it then. I don't think he realizes. All right, Fuzz just twirling. Elton Michelle trying to get in and help him. As Inspector Gadget lays a hit that does take him down, but not fast enough.
Did you see Sausage leap over Shirley then in the pack?
All right.
I think with the agility and the speed of these jammers, it's going to be really difficult to reform walls before these jammers are back amongst you.
All right. As number 17, that's Huge Stackman, gets sent for a penalty.
Huge Stackman will be on his best behaviour today. He did foul out of the game yesterday.
That was a big jam for Sausage Rolls. All right, he did manage to make swift work of the Scartel pack several times then. It's currently sitting at 30 to the Brawlers and 13 for the Scartel, but that might change.
Yes.
Oh, that was a 20-point jam. 20 to 13. All right, official timeout is being called. I think we might be double-checking either the clock or the scores.
Well, it's a good time to talk about some of our sponsors, perhaps.
All right. So, Extreme Skates, they're one of our premium skate stores up here in lovely Brisbane. They're located in Taringa, but you can get all of their deals online at www.extremeskates.com.au. They do offer free delivery for any purchases over $20. So get on there, and Franca and her lovely, lovely team can help you with all your skating needs. Dirty Five, a quick hit there on Whippersnapper, wants to take him back. Whipper's considering it. Oh, he says no.
We saw a similar situation yesterday where the jammer skated to the front of the pack
but
and
then
passed
did the star pass. Oh, and Copty. Oh, I don't think that didn't look to me to be 20 feet, but it must have been. He gets himself an out of play. That is Copter's second penalty. All right, as both the Bass Strait Brawlers blockers return from that penalty box.
And let's see how long Dirty Five's going to
yeah, it gets a bit
ice
boring.
this penalty for.
Whippersnapper trying to play it smart. Look at Whippersnapper, wants to chase him down. Big, oh!
And there it is.
And he gets himself lead. I've been waiting for an apex jump like that this whole tournament.
That's the reason for apex jumpers right there, but somebody is down on the far side of the track and not getting up again in a hurry.
All right, I'm not sure who it is. It's Arsenal. All right, he's just going to take a moment. I didn't get to see the hit. You might have got to see it at home. Arsenal's a big man, so to get him to go down, it had to have been a big hit. All right, luckily he does have one of your Bauer helmets, okay, so his face would have been protected there. But he'll just take a moment to the side. All right, I do see that Huge Stackman has returned to the penalty box, so possibly involved in that hit.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened myself. The whiteboard was in the way, but nice and handy to the first aid attendants down there, and Arsenal was able to remove himself from the track.
All right, Whippersnapper did get himself 4 points on that jam by the looks of it. So that brings the score up to Brawlers on 30, Scartel on 17. I knew this game was going to be fierce and tough. I didn't know they'd be able to bring it at 8 a.m. in the morning, though.
Arsenal's
All right.
up and moving back to the
Now,
bench
because
area.
that jam did get called, I do believe he will have to sit out for the 3 jams. He was in the ref safety lane, so it did get called. As Copter in his short standing in the Spank Alley penalty box there. He's been leading the way with quite a few of the hashtags on the Twitter feed as well as on Instagram.
Just see the bench manager Crack from the Brawlers heading over and talking to Pombat there. Maybe having a bit of a chat about the points that were allocated to Whipper on that last jam.
All right. Fuzz is just inside there as well with the referee, so he will just be making sure that everything is up to date or finding out exactly what the Brawlers wanted to discuss. All right, Fuzz just does a bit of a shrug, goes back. It might have been that he just wants them to make sure that about the 20 feet, because that did look like an awfully tight 20 feet out of play that was called on Copter.
That's right.
All right, Sausage Rolls lining up against RPG. RPG was, I do believe, not one of the skaters that got to go down to Tasmania. Am I wrong or right there? Did you get to see RPG?
Yeah, no, RPG was
He
there
did
for that
come
one.
down?
Yep.
All right, so they've probably lined up against each other a few times.
3 on 3 in the lineup in front of the line.
RPG finds himself up against Thorsum. Thorsum, one of the contenders for the AMRD calendar 2015. Big hit there by Shirley on Sausage Rolls. Sausage Rolls smiling though. All right, RPG gets himself out. Oh, but he gets a cut.
Gets a cut as well.
All right, he's on his way to the Spank Alley penalty box.
As is Grease Monkey. I missed what that one was for. Sausage Rolls back amongst it. Now Shirley's
big
just...
hit. I think that Fuzz was trying to get in his way just then. All right, Thorsum lining up that O. You can see it. Oh, but this time it wasn't him. I think that was Inspector. Oh, no, that's Captain Smirk who went in for the O. I do believe Sausage Rolls was asking his team where his O was just then. Oh, big hits. Someone better address the Fuzz situation. There we go. The refs are addressing it instead. All right, Grease Monkey goes the long way round while RPG comes straight back. Can he just slip on through? That's 1, that's 2, he's through. Gets his initial pass. Sausage Rolls is calling it off.
Sausage Rolls just heading back to the bench area, looking a bit puffed after that one.
That was fierce. I think that 4 wall to begin with, like we have 2 speeds in roller derby and that stopped and running, and they were stopped when he hit them. All right, they were bracing, they were slowing him right down, and that's what they're going to have to do to try to keep this gap to a minimum.
That's what they've talked about as a strategy, trying to contain these tough Brawlers jammers.
Whippersnapper lining right into the hangman, and Inspector Gadget, he's looking back, he's got to try. Oh, look at that. Thorsum, though,
closing out the inside at the front.
Though. Thorsum not quite quick enough. That was a battle of like small versus big just there.
That was ultimate, yeah.
He is lead jammer as Fuzz returns to the track. Fuzz might time this perfectly to try to stay in front of Dirty 5, but he can't. Look at that, Dirty 5. Oh, I think he's gotten a shanking though. He has. That's a 3-4. The Brawlers just taking 1 extra hit there. 1 extra point, sorry.
Dirty 5 just coming up against Nico in the middle of that pack there.
All right, if you are watching at home and you've got the party going on, don't forget to hashtag AMRD Nationals, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We want to see it. All right, we want to see, actually, if there's anyone up from Perth, my gosh, you are up early.
What time? It's about 5 o'clock in the morning over there.
All right. The Fuzz there gets himself out.
Fuzz is addressing his own situation.
Not lead. Oh, but look at this. Sausage Rolls goes to the bin. That's 2 penalties for Sausage Rolls. So this is a 2-minute power jam.
Forearms being called
Ref
for Sausage.
Prince having to skate on the track to avoid Sausage. All right, Captain Smirk there. They're crowding him. Oh, big hit there. All right, Copter taking out Captain. Oh, no, sorry.
Huge Stackman at the
Huge
back
Stackman this time. The 1-7 and the 1-7-0 one are throwing me out. Fuzz doesn't have to go all the way back for Huge Stackman.
there. And Huge Stackman escaping the goat by taking it at a apex hop.
Copter coming up to do a bit of O. Someone's getting a penalty.
It's
All right, so Fuzz here. Fuzz is the jammer. He just did a bit of a what we call here in Brisbane City Rollers to be a Polly Crackers. Polly Crackers, one of the Sun State roller girls and one of the Team Australia skaters. She takes off the panty when she's not lead. All right, gets them to focus on the pivot for a little while, then runs away.
I like
The
it. I've
jammer
seen it.
panty only gets you points or lead jammer status.
Seen it a handful of times.
Oh, illegal procedure is called on Sausage Rolls. All right. Sausage Rolls entering the track. Big hit from Copter there on Captain Smirk.
I'm not quite sure what the illegal procedure was there, the sausage rolls.
I think it would have to be a returning to the track.
It would have to be.
All right, I think he must have returned inside the engagement zone still. All right, at the front of the pack, and I do believe you need to be just outside that engagement zone.
I
It
don't
might
think
be-
he particularly agreed with the measurement.
Oh, that's a cut track call there. Huge Stackman. He's on his third penalty of today as well.
And we're seeing it again with a track full of refs today, Scare Bear. No whistle, no opinion right here.
Oh, Fuzz wants an illegal procedure contact after the whistle called on Thorsam. Doesn't get it. Timeout being called for the Brawlers. This might be time to give a shout out to our second major sponsor. That's Spank Alley.
That's Spank Alley. If you, where is it? If your panties are in a state of disarray and you keep finding them on the floor near your ankles instead of on your head, contact Peter for custom stars and stripes at spankalley.com.au or on Facebook. They're right here. Go and buy their stuff from here.
Well, if we're online, maybe you're heading out later today for the finals. All right, you can pick up some great compression wear here as well from Peter and her team. She does a lot for roller derby and actually sponsors our Elton Michelle, one of our Brisbane City Rollers, Scartel on the track there as well.
She's always got a bunch of great deals on sponsoring teams and doing good deals on armbands and all of that sort of gear.
I've seen a few custom-made panties today which look like they might have been her work. Well, not today, yesterday, sorry. We had Smash who have their Super Mario Brothers stars. That looked a little bit like it might have been Peter's work.
I'm just looking on the Weather Bureau's update for today for the forecast. 43 for Ipswich, currently 31.6 at 8:15 in the morning. So forecast of very hot with an afternoon storm.
And what's the weather currently in the lovely Bass Strait Brawlers territory?
In Hobart right now, showers and 8.
Ooh, look at that, dirty 5. The heat doesn't seem to be getting to him, but Shirley just runs from the outside to the inside to recapture him. Is that enough time? That was a beautiful defense work there from Shirley to get RPG. He calls it off. That keeps Huge Stackman in the bin. But it does mean that Sausage Rolls comes out to jam. What's the score currently? Oh, it's... All right. I've got to wait for it to flick. Oh, 48-40. Scartel just closing that gap slightly.
And it's Whippersnapper around the outside. The Brawlers are going to focus on not letting him get into a one-on-one with any of their blockers today, so maintaining their walls in front of the Whipper.
That was a beautiful hit there. Was that Nahiko? No. That's Inspector Gadget there, laying one into Whippersnapper, making him go all the way back. Elton Michelle just throws his whole body at Sausage Roll, and looks like Sausage Roll felt it.
I'm not sure Whippers realised that he's lead jammer yet. Now he goes. He
All
pulls it
right, the crowd was going nuts just then. Sausage Rolls, look at this. Scartel will be happy to see Sausage Rolls just looking that little bit tired today. They've been working a number on him. All right, as Fuzz, FE3C, that's iron carbonite for the science geeks at home. At the end of next year, I'm quite sure those letters might be getting awfully smaller with the new Woofter rules.
It'll be 3.
I don't think he'll go down to 3. He's stronger than that. Ba-dum-bum-ch. All right. We have Shirley up the back there with HP Shovecraft, just holding with Hank Pfister, Dirty 5.
Dirty 5 being contained here at the back.
All right. Copter getting in his way. Look at that. Dirty 5's just gotten himself past turn 1. All right, we're a good 30 seconds into this jam. Look at that. That is a 5-point pass for Fuzz. Excellent work by the Scartel blockers here.
Dirty 5 known for his acceleration.
Look at this swarming, knocking him out and round.
In his ability to find the
He's
smallest
almost
gap.
out, but they just keep waterfalling to the front. The Fuzz just has to get out. He's calling. Sometimes the boys seem a little bit shy about the way they call off their jams. They do it in a nice, subtle way. They don't want to present to everyone. But just remember, only your jammer ref can call off your jam. So if you're on the outside track line and you're doing small calls, no one's going to call it.
You need to work that package chop.
All right, so they kept him on the initial pass. All right, the bin is clean. So I think it was just Fuzz getting a little bit tired, wanting to move this on just a little bit. But look at that. It's a score change. We have the Brawlers on 48, Scartel's on 50, with just under 6 minutes remaining.
The Brawlers will just need to make sure that they can maintain their calm and not hit these penalties and not let the awesome blocking of the Scartel.
All right, Sausage Rolls is lead jammer, just got himself a grand slam. So that's another lead change right there as RPG
was
stuck.
just on his way on the outside lane, but it looks like he may have been called to return to the track.
Oh, Thorsome there, just knocking him out and taking him back. Oh, he's going to the outside, but has to go all the way back. I think that's Grease Monkey up the back. Gets himself another 5 as a penalty is called there on Inspector Gadget.
And RPG.
All right, RPG has gotten out of the pack, but got himself a forearms call. That is RPG's second penalty. All right, as Shirley returns to the track, look at that. Sausage Rolls going to the bin as well, so this will be a jammer switch.
He's managed to get himself there first, though. I think his penalty was called.
His penalty got called right in front of the penalty box. As Shirley and Blacktooth Grinner, the Sun State members as well, just rolling all the way back. They do a 20 to me call. Oh, but Elton Michelle didn't get in place in time. Sausage Rolls just jumping that inside line as RPG returns to the track as well as Inspector Gadget.
And I reckon Sausage Rolls knows exactly where the camera is for that one too.
I think so. That was one for all of you at home that couldn't come up here to sunny Brisbane. All right, the crowd just sits there and wonders why no one was getting up just then as Sausage gets another 4 points.
So the
RPG got 4 as well.
Building back on their lead a little bit now, 72.
All right, the jam is called. That was awesome work by Sausage Rolls to get that lead back. That jam there, bringing the Brawlers up to 72 and the Scartel on 54 with just under 4 minutes remaining.
And it's going to be a jammer race again off the line for this one. Dirty 5 and Whippersnapper. Just under 4 minutes left to go in this first period. And we're going with 20-minute halves for this one, is that right?
We are in 20-minute halves. The full-length games are only the third place playoff as well as the grand final. All right. Now, do remember, the winner of this game does go straight to the grand final. Okay, the loser of this game will go to the third place playoff. Oh, might be a low block. No? All right, but a cut will be called on Dirty 5.
Dirty 5 is cutting now.
That's a cut. Copter went back. He might not have realised his skate went out of bounds just then. That is Dirty 5's first penalty for the game, though.
And Hangman just being penalised for that hit on Whippersnapper, who is now lead jammer for Scartel.
As Hangman also goes for his first penalty of the game.
And there we see Whipper getting low and going under the Thor.
All right.
But
Captain Smirk. I don't know if Captain Smirk was actually part of that play. He wasn't. He tried to call it.
It was Nico at the front with that one on his debut for the Brawlers.
There we go. He's been having a great tournament as well. Look at that. He got it. He just twirled around the Thor. Oh. All right. HP Shovecraft might be getting a low block call there. Yes, he does. So HP Shovecraft going for his first penalty of the game, a low block.
Just having to step over Nico in the safety lane on his
All
way
right,
out.
Dirty Five got out of the pack and Whippersnapper calls.
And again, that was a brutal, scrappy, fast, hard-hitting jam.
I've been really loving this lineup here with Fuzz versus Sausage Rolls, but Sausage Rolls might be having a bit of an equipment malfunction. No, he's back on track.
He sorted
Look at
himself
those
out.
elbow pads for Sausage. They are defensive elbow pads. I've seen the face shields, I see the shin guards, but I've never seen elbow pads that big. All
They
right,
are big.
Sausage Rolls
I
just
don't know if that says anything about his expectations about being on the floor much today.
Oh, he just runs straight up that outside line, got himself lead before anyone even knew it.
Sausage is getting some Twitter love from Doc Envy, all of the fangirl.
Oh, yes. Hashtag AMRD calendar 2015. There's a lot of boys on these teams. At the moment, they smile. I think all the girls in the room get a little bit fluttery. I can think of a few. It's been a great tournament to come and watch. Who needs fishnets when you have smiles like this? All right, crowding. That's Extreme Skates Jammer line has both packs. As HP Shovecraft is standing in the penalty box, the Scartel does take the front line. Thor just looking at RPG. RPG does not want to go near Thor.
He's
He's
going
being
for a
funneled
middle line.
to it. Tries to go to the out. Dirty Five. Dirty Five's already got half a lap. He's coming back around. All right. RPG just got to get past Hangman. Hangman does one last tap, but Dirty Five's right behind. Dirty Five will probably call. There we go. As Thorsome goes to the penalty box for his first penalty of the game. All right, currently we have the Scartel sitting on 6 penalties in this half. We have the Bass Strait Brawlers on 12 penalties in this half. It doesn't seem to be affecting the scoreboard that much, but I'm pretty sure that the Bass Strait Brawlers want to slow down that penalty run.
Just doing some last-second adjustments to the clock. It looks like we may get a jam start before the period. Yep.
All right.
Period clock has expired, so we're into the last jam for the first
All right,
half.
Hank Fister knocks him out, takes him back.
There's a penalty there for forearms on Hank Fister.
Oh, yep, Hank Fister gets called. But look at that. No one was in place quick enough. Oh, and that's a penalty there. Whippersnapper getting himself a cut. That's his first penalty of the game as Arsenal joins him as well. All right. So that's a full box there for the Scartel. They have 2 blockers and a jammer in the bin.
I can just see RPG getting some first aid management over in the bench area. Not quite sure what's gone on there.
Yeah, look, it even though it might not feel incredibly hot to us here, I wouldn't want to be skating.
That's for sure.
All right. He's just feeling incredibly hot over there. Might have taken a bit of a hit. Look at this. It's a micro pack out there, 2-on-2. Huge Stackman gets sent. The Thor, what can he do? Look at that. Whippersnapper back on track. Runs away with it. Sausage wants to get a couple of blockers out of the bin. Just in time to get Inspector Gadget out.
The Brawlers were conscious of not letting Whippersnapper get in a one-on-one situation. There wasn't much Thor could do about that right then. He was the only one there.
Thor was not looking the right way at the time. He was wondering if, as the only blocker on track, if maybe he should go oh. And that was when Whippersnapper ran straight on by.
So
Now
we're into half-time now. Brawlers just shy of 100 on 96. Scartel on 64.
all right. Now, in this one here, the start of the next jam in the second half, we'll have 2 of the Bass Strait Brawlers starting in the bin and 1 of the Scartel starting in the bin as well. So hopefully the Scartel can capitalise. They do now have the bin closer to their back line, so they might be taking a little bit more on that. All right, they're just going to go in and have a bit of a chat. Oh, might be an official review happening here. All right, I might go head on in and find out what it's all about. It might just be a quick call.
Good one. Who's called that official review? Yet I missed who called that official review, but Scarebear's going to get the information for us, and we'll see if we can come up with something for you very shortly. In the meantime, AMRD Nationals is a proud supporter of Movember, helping to raise money and awareness for men's health. So if you supported World Class Mo, share it on social media and add the hashtag AMRD Nationals. As with all your social media posts this weekend, hashtag AMRD Nationals. You can donate to the AMRD Movember team or even join the team. Just jump onto the Movember website and or the Movember app and you can join the AMRD team. We've got raffle tickets on sale here this weekend as well. For everybody who's in the area or coming down later today, you can win a $100 Extreme Skates gift voucher and a bunch of merch from participating leagues. Some of the Vanguard skaters and team officials making their way into the chook shed now. Here in Ipswich, they're playing in the next game, which is going to be Vanguard v Smash. It's going to be a good one to watch as well. And that'll be for second and third rank. That's the second semi-final. And from these first two games today, we'll work out who's going to be playing in a couple of the last two games this afternoon. So at the moment, in the middle of the track, Pombat is just talking through that official review. Looks like it may have been called by Fuzz from the Scartel, and just explaining whatever's gone on there. Scare Bear will be back with that update very shortly. All right, so now that that official review has been completed, we can start half-time.
Okay, so we'll just let you know what the official review was. The Scartel's Fuzz did call that official review. He wanted a review on the Red 7-9's penalty for failure to reform. He did believe that they did meet their obligation of coasting because they were at the front of the pack and the coasting was their change of speed. Okay, that the failure to reform should not have been called. In the same one, he did also want a review made on the fact that black skaters at the back made no effort to reform the pack as well, so there should have been a call at the back of the pack. The referees did decide that coasting was immediate, but then there was a sustained no pack and they should have made an effort to start braking. So the call stands on Red 7-9, and as the official review can only look at one action, the no call on the black skater at the back does not need to be reviewed at all.
Hashtag getting all rulesy.
I know. I love Fuzz and the rules. He makes it very clear and concise when you're listening to an official review. Pombat also, the head referee there, that was a great response, and all of the terminology that he was using was making it so easy and not very confusing at all for me. But I follow the rules. I am a bit of a rules nerd, so it's all right.
Good
so
one.
we have 2 minutes remaining in our half time.
It's also done given them an extra minute or so of their half-time break to cool down and get some water into them.
I've got to go double check
Well
them.
over 30 degrees right here in the chook shed.
All right. I'm just going to double check the penalties and we'll be back shortly. All right. Welcome back. We're getting ready here for the second half. Now, just letting you know, I went in and double-checked the penalties, and it's looking a little bit worse than we thought. All right. We have several of the Bass Strait Brawlers blockers and jammers on 4 penalties. Sausage Rolls is on 4 penalties. All right. Also, Huge Stackman is on 4 penalties. Captain Smirk is clean. Number 34, Dirty 5 is on 2. Thorsome on 3. Hangman on 1. Mo, which is Grease Monkey, on 3. M3, which is Nahiko, on 1. And Inspector Gadget on 2.
Sausage Rolls barging his way past Helton there to take the lead for the Brawlers after that one.
Yeah. All right, here he comes round for a scoring pass. Gets himself the points and calls. All right, in the Scartel penalties, they're looking a lot lighter than the Bass Strait Brawlers. Whippersnapper on 1. Copter on 2. Blacktooth Grinner is clean. Hank Fister on 1. HP Shovecraft on 1. Elton Michelle on 0. Arsenal on 1. RPG on 2. Shirley on 2. And FE3C Fuzz on 1. So a lot cleaner. As Thorsome and Dirty 5 are getting ready to return to the track there.
Whippersnapper squeezes through that little
All
gap.
right.
And off into the
Copter,
crowd. He's into
Whippersnapper all the way to the crowd. That was a big hit from Sausage. He calls it off. All right. Copter believes that he had contact with the head barging right into his stomach.
Straight away
really
we've
did
got,
believe that it should have been a blocking with the head call. All right. Fuzz as well is unhappy with the no call.
Straight away, we've got some designates
That is
across in the middle.
unsafe play. Blocking with the head or to the head is probably the 2 most dangerous parts of play. So they're yelling at the refs to make sure that they're double checking that. But please remember, no whistle, no opinion. All right, Elton Michelle lining up to jam, and he's finding himself up the front against Bass Strait Brawlers. Whoa. There we go, 1 to go. Look at that. Elton Michelle in his second to last game for the Scartel before he hangs up those skates. An absolute leader in the development of Australian men's roller derby in Australia. He's been there from the beginning.
Again, we see this amazing speed of these jammers, even as they come into the pack, barely putting the brakes on, coming in with speed. In the halftime break, I did just pop across and have a check on RPG. It looks like he did get a little bit of a hit to the head during that last period.
Yeah.
He's sitting down with the medics.
All right, he's just going to shake that one off and try to stay nice and cool as well. Now, this is a 4-on-4 pack. It hasn't happened in a while.
First time for a while.
The Fuzz got 1 to go. Look at that. Goes to the in, goes to the out. Got himself past Huge Stackman. That is the Scartel captain. All right, the crowd here for the Scartel is quite large. We do have dual membership deals for the Scartel, so we do have a couple of skaters that are referees for the Sun State Roller Girls. So I know we've got Sun State people here. We have the Tweed Valley Vikings fan being the local other men's team. Their fans are also here to support the Scartel. But we know online it would be the Brawlers fans going nuts. And I know the Victorian Vanguard is also going for the Brawlers. And probably anyone...
They've got a reasonably sized contingent around the sidelines here.
I think Newcastle and Canberra fans might be a little bit split in the house. A couple of them are friends with Fuzz, but I think also a few of them are friends with Sausage, being part of the ladies World Cup team. There we go, Sausage just pushing a little bit on the out and then disengaging, going straight to the in. A penalty is called. All right. Oh, that is Whippersnapper heading to the bin.
I heard a cry from the Brawlers bench then, and I just looked over and saw Crack turn around and...
All right. Now, Thorsome is in the bin. I didn't get him to see him go, but I do believe that had to be a new penalty. Oh, look at that. Arsenal not looking. All right. You need to make sure you're watching that inside line, especially at the apex, as Grease Monkey knocks Arsenal out. Yields him to the back. Sausage gets that point. I know. Freyla Fontaine, I'm feeling ya. All right, Sausage rolls, smiles as he gets past for another 5-point pass. Whippersnapper just gets to rejoin the pack. Look at that. He makes it too easy. The Scartel have to hold that inside line when Sausage is on the track. I'm pretty sure the Bass Strait Brawlers have worked out they need to hold it when it's Whippersnapper. All right, but those little, like when you don't even need to do a big apex jump, you just can do a little apex jump and still manage to achieve great things and get those 4 to 5 points off that mark.
That's right.
HP Shovecraft, a crowd favourite. I think in his bio on Facebook, it was putting the hipster in hip check, and he'd hate us for saying it. All right, he's pushing through. The Fuzz. Oh, Shirley gets back. Cut is called. All right, look at that. HP Shovecraft getting a power jam for the Scartel. And it is definitely time for them to need one. What is the score, Bob?
Brawlers 122, Scartel 71, so 51 behind. And that's 5 less now.
All right, so that's 122 to 66 as Nahiko goes to the penalty box. All right, we do have 15 minutes remaining. Oh,
And Shirley
huge
instrumental in that
stackman,
pass
using
as
his
well.
whole body weight to go down, and then just did a little jump, just straight back on his skates. All right,
Shovecraft
look at
getting
that.
some crowd
I see
love
some
for that 5 point.
fangirling. All right, there is a hashtag of swoon. I do believe HP Shovecraft might also be a nominee for that calendar. We will make this happen. If it's not 2015, it has to be 2016 before the World Cup. All right, because that is when the next World Cup will be. Dirty 5 lining up, taking a bit of space, waiting to see what Elton Michelle will do. Elton Michelle just slides past Grease Monkey but gets eaten there. That is Sausage Rolls he's battling with, but Arsenal goes all the way back. That is a no pass, no point. All right, the Fuzz and Copter up the front there want to hold him as Elton Michelle is eaten to the back of the pack. But so is Dirty 5 as Nahiko returns to the track. Sausage not able to hold Helton Michelle. I want to call him Helton Michelle. He is the skater formerly known as Helton, and he actually put up, I think it was his first ever selfie, and said, if I get 100 likes, I will change my name to Elton Michelle.
Just 100. How many did he get?
Oh, well, we even started a day. It's called Selfies for Helton. All right, it did have its, believe it happens in May each year. We had it last year, and everyone just posted photos of themselves, selfies, with the hashtag Selfies for Helton.
I remember that got some international interest.
There
too.
was international interest.
Worldwide selfies.
This year we made it an event as well. Okay, so it was Selfies for Helton / Selfies for Elton Michelle because the name change had occurred. All right, I do believe that was the Scartel calling a timeout.
Team
yes,
timeout
it is.
red.
That is being signalled by our lovely jam timer in the middle there. All right, the Bass Strait Brawlers were on track but deciding to go and take a bit of appreciation of the doors there, try to get a bit of breeze.
I think all the doors are open now around the perimeter of the chook shed, letting some of that warm, dusty breeze in.
Look, we're lucky enough that we got in to clean some of this area on Thursday night. Usually when there's a couple of events here, this is known as the chook shed. So after the Ipswich show, we have to come in here and clean up feathers and everything else. We also have book fairs and lots of other events here at the showground, so we generally have to come in and clean up quite a bit after those events.
On the morning news this morning, I heard that today was forecast to be the hottest day in Ipswich since 1958.
Oh, all right. We all got to make sure. I think if you're playing at home, I know it might be early, but you could probably play with a cider or a beer. Up here, we've got to be taking the water as Fuzz just gets himself lead jammer. Sausage is out and wants to catch him. Watch this running.
And the pack
When I see
speed-
Sausage run, he kind of runs a little bit like RPG. Oh, huge stackman. I think a little bit angry, but I don't think his point was sacrificed then, getting just the 3 points. So I heard that Sausage Rolls is actually an ex-ice hockey player. Is
That's
that
right.
true?
Yep.
And there is another Bass Strait
him
Brawler.
and Dirty 5 both.
Number 35, the 2-star jammers. We were talking about this last night, and we're sitting there saying this is possibly why when Sausage Rolls comes to block you, it takes you out of the arena. It is a crowd hit every single time. It's not just a simple down to the ground. I think that's a bit of a sweat mop-up right there.
It is 8:45, and we've got sweat on the track.
All right, it's just going to get worse. All right. Think the Thor might be being checked for sweat. Oh, how many penalties is Thor on? That's at least his 5th, but might be more.
And there's a big black 42 written on the penalty box whiteboard.
All right, he's standing. He might be getting, no? I was thinking maybe he might have been getting left the box early or something like that. They're both standing. Both Arsenal and Thor, the two big men. I think Arsenal wants to make sure he does get on the track first, so then Thor has to come in behind him.
Whippersnapper and Dirty 5 on track against these 3-on-3.
There we go. Shirley just laying a nice quick hit there, but can they slow him down? Look at that bracing support. Thor got on track first, but Arsenal wasn't far behind. There's a gap in that Scartel wall.
Whipper not real quick to get up from that last hit.
Oh, look at that. All right, Dirty 5 had to fight for that one, but he is lead jammer. He's going to get some points.
These fast jammers can take advantage of the smallest gaps in these walls.
All right. Shirley considered for a second then of throwing Whippersnapper at Dirty 5 and then went, wait a second, that's my jammer, might not be a good idea. Hesitated, took the hands off.
I saw it. I thought that's what was going to happen.
Whippersnapper just looking back at Dirty 5 going, I know you want to call it. There we go. Look at this, a crowd favourite, HP Shovecraft, lining up behind the Extreme Skates jammer line once again.
His jammer stats are looking good so far today, 100% lead.
Yes. All right, as Inspector Gadget is sitting in that penalty box. All right, I'm trying to hear some BCR chants in the crowd, but it's too hot and it's too early. It fizzled. All right, Sausage Rolls just barges. He's almost through that. Whoa, there we go. Oh, hit on the end. I was trying to work out who did that little love tap, but it didn't stop him for very long.
That's right. HP now with just a little hop over one of the down players, and he is out of the pack as well.
All right. Oh, Copter finding himself at the back there, out of the play as Thorsome and Captain Smirk go back.
And run is the call from the Scartel pack as they
HP Shovecraft being kept on 0. But there you go. He only got 2 points. Sausage wants to say it's 3. You always try to add that one extra point. You're like, oh no, there was an extra person, wasn't there? Every time. One more. It's like you count in your head and the mystery finger comes up next to it just to say one more.
That's right. It's no good telling the announcers though. We can't push the button.
All right. The crowd finally got a coordinated cheer. The Brawlers currently on 129 to the Scartel's 87 with just under 10 minutes remaining. Dirty 5 at the back there. But the effort that the Scartel wall is making and the Bass Strait Brawlers jammers are just getting low and pushing until a gap is made in that wall. Oh, the panty has fallen off. He hasn't seen it. Look at that. Copter crowds the panty. Makes it hard. Oh, he can't pick it up. That is an illegal procedure for Huge Stackman. Copter played a part in it, but gets himself a penalty as well. All right. That was meant to be a penalty. Yes, Huge Stackman will go for that illegal procedure. All right, that is his 5th penalty as Copter gets his 3rd penalty for the game. All right, Dirty 5. All right, gets himself 5 points. Oh, as the fuzz. Oh!
Is there going to be a low block in? Yeah, low block.
All right, they take it back because it was a side contact that did initiate that first. All right, it was Fuzz's shoulder into Thor. All right, but Fuzz does look at that.
To the penalty box.
Captain's, oh no, that's Grease Monkey and Thor just trying to make it hard for Fuzz. Fuzz finally gets out of the pack, gets himself the 4 points. Dirty 5 comes round as Copter and Huge Stackman return to the track. Don't know if he got any points then. That was 0 points for Fuzz, but was there any points there?
They're just having a chat amongst themselves, see how many hips went past.
All right. Copter, you are not the A today. You do need to go back. All right. All right, I think they go 4 points. All right, he
fours.
never got 5 points on any of those passes. It was just a series of 4s.
So there
Okay.
probably will be a little downwards correction. Just under 8 minutes left to go. The Brawlers still holding this lead that they've managed to maintain most of the way through, 134 to 91.
All right. Vixen, she's the bench manager who keeps stats. She's always keeping stats on that bench to work out what's going on. All right, these are our last couple of games of benching for the Scartel. The lovely Vixen is heading down to Wagga Wagga for her work. So she is just in her last few rounds of coaching. She just found out Wagga Wagga's going co-ed, so she's been a little bit excited. Anyone in Wagga Wagga watching, that was Vixen heading out.
She's coming your way.
All right, Elton Michelle getting knocked to the in and the out
The sausage
by
rolls again with this.
Captain Smirk and Hangman. Hangman being sent to the bin, but a star pass has occurred. Did they get out? Copter is out. Copter is the jammer. Let's see what he can do. He hasn't jammed in this tournament yet. Oh, Sausage Rolls doesn't let him do anything. I wanted to see what could happen. All right, Copter is one of the Wizards of Oz. You can tell by that lovely yellow helmet. All right, Thorsome just patting the back there of HP Shovecraft. I don't know if it was like a stroke, a bit of a love stroke, or if it was just, hey, mate, I want the back line. But HP Shovecraft happy to give it up for him.
Just the 3 Brawlers blockers on the track.
All right, the whistle goes.
And again,
It was a little bit late. Whippersnapper hesitated with that star pass. Thorsome saw him do it. Thorsome went from lane 4 to lane 1. Fuzz the pivot, trying to fight there, has the panty. Oh, gets a big hit. That might be a high block being called. No, it's not. Sausage Rolls gets himself out. Fuzz is knocked to the outside, has to yield. Oh.
This time it's the inside. It's
Thorsome's
all the way
sheer
around the
weight is
officials.
pushing people out. You think you're still in, but then they're out. There we go. Fuzz gets himself out of the pack as Thorsome heads for another penalty. This might be it for him. I think he's on 6, but we'll have to make sure. All right, no one's heading out to him, so I think he might be on 6 still.
We'll keep an eye on what the officials are doing during this lineup.
All right, the Scartel really need to pull something out. It's just under 6 minutes remaining. They are almost 60 points behind. They really need a couple of power jams. That's what they need.
That's right.
30-second
We saw
power
a
jams
couple of
are.
30 and 40 point jams yesterday.
I've got to say, though, like the Brawlers, even with the penalties they've been getting, they haven't really been jammer penalties. All right, and they've all been leaving the track quickly. There's been quite a lot of insubordination calls this tournament for leaving the track in the wrong quadrant. You get your call, you get off. It's not that hard. Don't skate forwards, just get off.
That's
All
right.
right, turning those 30-second penalties into 1-minute penalties is dangerous. Elton Michelle is not lead jammer, so these are going to be some quick points for Dirty 5. He was skated out of bounds to avoid the block. Are they going to call it? All right, that is a penalty. If you skate out of bounds and call it off to avoid a block, that should be a penalty. We'll see what happens. The Scartel blockers want it to be called. I think Number
it's going to
Cruncher
be.
will be going to call it. Dirty 5 getting done for a skating out of bounds.
And he'll be serving that penalty as the jammer. So here's
All
one of
right.
those power jams
Yeah,
for the
so
Scartel.
now we have the Brawlers who are actually going to go into official review that. You could see, if you could see on the cameras, there was no contact to Dirty 5. He had no reason to skate out of bounds. So I think the call will stand, but we'll have to double check. All right, Anorexia running in. All right, in lovely unicorn dress. All right, she will find out exactly what's happening for us. Currently, the score is 150 to 94. It is a 56-point lead to the Brawlers. You better be going nuts down there. What is the Bass Strait Brawlers chant? I haven't seen a hashtag for it yet. I know that if you're going for the Scartel, please hashtag Scartelly Ho, because that is part of their chant. But if someone can let me know what the Bass Strait Brawlers chant is. just hashtag it, make sure it's with AMRD Nationals or hashtag talk to AMRD.
Yeah, the winner of this one will be going through to the grand final this afternoon. I think they're playing more for the incentive of having that extra 2-hour break between having to play again.
Yeah, hoping that it might be a little bit cooler by the time we reach the final. The final is at 4 p.m. today. Yesterday, that was actually actually 2 p.m. was when it started to get stinking. I think 4 o'clock was still stinking hot.
Yeah, we have got storms on the forecast for this afternoon, though. We'll see what time they come in, but it's going to get sticky.
Whenever the Queensland Bureau of Meteorology actually sits there and says there's a storm, it's usually 3 days too late. So it might happen. Yeah, it stands. Call stands. Yeah, the call does stand. You would have been able to see it. There was no contact made on Dirty 5. So Fuzz will get to start with a power jam and with 2 of the Bass Strait Brawlers blockers in the bin. I don't think that could have worked out any better. All right, so look at that. Sausage Rolls lining up with Grease Monkey.
All of the Scartel skaters were really quick to jump on that skating out of bounds then. Shirley staring Number Cruncher down.
Yeah, look.
Call it.
A lot of the Brisbane City Rollers are referees in their separate lives. They referee for Sun State Roller Girls. They referee here for Brisbane City Rollers and for all the local leagues and tournaments here in Queensland. So they're pretty on top of all their rules knowledge.
That's right.
All right, Copter goes in for a big O to try to get Sausage out of the way. HP's tangled in it. But Fuzz gets past one, but Grease Monkey knocks him out, takes him back. Thor is back on track. That is not going to be good for Fuzz. He wants to get out before Thor reaches him. There we go. He got out. He got lead. All right, just in time.
Thor did a great job there. He wasn't going for the jammer. He was just going to go for the bridging position.
Look at them all looking at him. All right, Copter wants to get in. No pack should be called. They've got to let him go. There we go. But Dirty 5 is back on the track. All right. Copter runs it back for M3. That's Nahiko. It was a big crowd shout.
Whole room full of bench coaches here for the Scartel today.
So, look, Dirty 5 would have been on initial. I'm not sure if Fuzz should have tried to go for that one more lap. Yes, definitely. That insubordination when refs are out of stripes. I think it's the no whistle, no opinion hashtag we've been using this tournament.
Look at that, we've got a spank.
All right, Whippersnapper's trying again. Look at this, Arsenal going back, but because he was skating the opposite direction instead of skating backwards, the Sausage Roll was able to just get on track nice and quickly, gets himself lead. It's like the yield was nothing, but Whippersnapper is out as well. He got a hit there, I think it was off Captain Smirk, which actually sent him through the group, so got him out. Captain Smirk O's on that inside. Arsenal lays a hit. Doesn't get the Arsenal's points. That's 3 points.
I know we're only a couple of minutes left into it, but some of the talking to the outside pack refs may be just distracting some of these skaters from maybe where they could be looking.
All right.
Elton
we almost ended up with 2 pivot panties on the track there, so Copter whips that off nice and quickly. Elton Michelle lines up his back. That's a back block if he got it. No, I don't know.
And we're going to play this game again.
Oh, he's gone out of bounds. Just Grease Monkey to go. It seems that the refs might be a little bit slow in their calls today. Elton Michelle does get that cut. Grease Monkey's hips were just behind. Elton Michelle's got to remember he's quite small. He's got to get those hips far back to get him past a skater.
So that gives Dirty 5 the lead jam. Oh, and there's a big stack down on turn 1. And
all right, Thor, that'll be Thor out of the game. That is his 7.
And he's in a hurry to get out of here.
Thor. All right, there's not much. He had lots of penalties in the first half, and it's only a minute remaining.
Shovecraft.
All right, Thorsome knows, he acknowledges. All right, he's out of there.
And Fuzz just taking a big
HP
hit from
Shovecraft is also heading to the penalty box. The Fuzz trying to hold him back. Yields him all the way back as Elton Michelle returns to the track. Elton will be happy that Thor's not there. Elton Michelle, all right. keeps himself on the track just. It looks like he's having a bit of a skate malfunction.
Dirty Five's just going to wait for
Wait
for Elton Michelle to come around.
Something on his wheels. Elton Michelle, what's happening with your gear? I wonder if he broke a plate. It looked like he was going for the plate under his skate there. All right. Looks like we might get this last jam with the captain Fuzz lining up against, I do believe he's the captain as well. Is he the captain? Is Sausage Rolls the captain today?
No, Captain Smirk would be the captain today.
Captain Smirk's the captain. There we go. As Hank Pfister and Arsenal take Sausage back. So Fuzz is the lead jammer for the last jam today. The clock has ran out. There is no official reviews to get you another jam. All right, we have two of the blockers, Captain Smirk.
And Fuzz just gets out in front, takes the 4, calls
there
off the jam.
Go.
But that is going to be the game. That gets the Scartel over 100. They're on 103 for your unofficial final. But it's the Bass Strait Brawlers out in front.
All right.
58.
After watching the Brawlers last game yesterday, you knew they were going to come in hard and fierce. The Scartel were the first seeded rank and Brawlers did come in 4th. But look at that. They've turned the tables. They are going to the grand final.
Right now in Tassie, there's a whole
The
lot
Scartel will be going to the bronze place playoffs at 2 p.m. The next game coming up is the Vanguard versus Smash. The results of that game will determine who these teams will be playing. All right.
So right now in Tassie, there's a whole bunch of roller derby screaming going on from all of the 4 leagues in Tassie. Convict City Rollers, South Island Sirens, Devil State Derby League, and Van Diemen Rollers. All of those leagues represented here with the Brawlers today.
There we go. That is the final score. So Brawlers have won this match on 158. The Scartel on 103. That is a 45-point lead to the Brawlers. So the Scartel closed it a little bit, but not fast enough. All right. That was great work from both the teams.
So we are going to have skate around laps today. So those Brawlers, the all victorious team in this final, Sausage Rolls, Huge Stackman, Captain Smirk, Dirty Five, Thor, Hangman, Grease Monkey, Nico, Inspector Gadget, and here but not on track today, Skate Tool, and here in spirit watching at home today, Tomahawk and Parabellum.
All right, and for the Scartel, we have 156 Whippersnapper, 173 Copter, 323 Black Tooth Grinner, number 35 Hank Pfister, 404 HP Shovecraft, 46 Elton Michelle, formerly known as Helton, number 5 Arsenal, 71 RPG, 79 Shirley, and FE3C Fuzz, the captain, giving it all on their track. All right, Jared Quinn, he's got a whistle. I think it means if you're blowing that whistle and calling the penalties, you do have an opinion too. All right, the Scartel now doing their lap, just getting a little bit of love from the crowd.
The Scartel will be back on track here today at 2 p.m. That's Ipswich time, so do the math for wherever you are. And the Brawlers in the grand final this afternoon at 4 p.m.
So please remember that'll be 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It'll be it's in front, 2:30 Adelaide time. And if you want to add a whole heap of hours backwards, that'll be Perth, because I still believe they don't have daylight savings. All right, so they'll be on par with us. It's either 2 or 3 hours away.
You see, that's why I say do the math for yourself.
I've lived in all these states. I can do it. All right, we're going to call it off now. Get yourself ready for Smash versus the Vanguard. That's number 2 and 3. They're fighting for the place to take on the Brawlers in the final. It might be a rematch with the Vanguard versus the Brawlers or something completely different. Signing off, Scabear.
And Bob quickly.